Welcome back to our channel, where we turn complex financial concepts into simple, practical advice that can help you build a better future. Today, we're diving into The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book takes a unique approach to finance. It's not just about how to manage money, but about understanding the emotions, habits, and mindsets that shape our financial decisions. So, why should you care about the psychology of money? Well, it turns out that no matter how much you know about investing, budgeting, and financial planning, your mindset could be the key difference between success and failure. In fact, Housel explains that our behavior with money often trumps our technical knowledge. You can be a financial expert, but if you can't manage your emotions, like fear, greed, and impatience, it can still lead to bad decisions that undermine your wealth-building efforts. Housel's book dives deep into how we think about money, why we make the decisions we do, and how our personal experiences shape our financial habits. By understanding the psychology behind our financial choices, we can start making better decisions that lead to long-term success. It's not just about how much money you make, but about how you handle it emotionally and mentally. Throughout this video, we'll explore some key takeaways from the psychology of money. You'll learn how behavior plays a bigger role in finance than you might think, the importance of long-term thinking, how risk and luck are interconnected, and why humility and patience are essential in your financial journey. Ready to see how your psychology impacts your financial future? Let's get started. One of the central ideas in the psychology of money is that behavior matters more than knowledge when it comes to managing money. Let that sink in for a moment. Behavior outweighs knowledge. You could have all the financial expertise in the world, but if you can't control your impulses, emotions, and short-term desires, it'll be nearly impossible to build lasting wealth. Let's think about it this way. Imagine you're driving a car. Knowing the rules of the road is important. You need to understand speed limits, when to stop, and how to navigate. But it's your behavior behind the wheel that determines whether you arrive safely at your destination, how you react to traffic, how patient you are in tough situations, and whether you make impulsive decisions all play a huge role in getting you where you want to go. The same is true with money. Financial knowledge is essential, but it's your behavior that ultimately determines your financial success. Housel explains that the way you behave with money is influenced by many factors: your upbringing, your past experiences, and even your personality traits. Some people are naturally more cautious and disciplined, while others tend to take bigger risks or get caught up in the moment. This is why two people with the same income and the same level of financial knowledge can end up in completely different situations. One person may build wealth steadily, while the other struggles to get ahead. Think about lottery winners, for example. We've all heard stories of people who win millions of dollars, only to end up bankrupt a few years later. Or professional athletes who make huge salaries but find themselves broke after retirement. Why does this happen? It's not because they didn't have enough money. It's because they didn't manage their behavior. They couldn't control their spending or plan for the future. And as a result, they lost everything. Housel's point is that managing money is less about memorizing financial formulas and more about mastering your behavior. Are you able to resist the temptation to splurge on things you don't need? Can you stay patient when the market takes a dip? Can you control your fear during economic downturns and your greed when times are good? It's these emotional and behavioral challenges that define our financial lives more than anything else. Ultimately, your behavior determines whether you succeed or fail financially. If you can control your impulses and stick to a disciplined plan, you're far more likely to build wealth that lasts. And the good news is, behavioral skills can be learned and improved over time. Just like developing any habit, the more you practice, the better you get. Now that we've talked about behavior, let's move on to one of the most important concepts in Housel's book: the importance of long-term thinking. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly bombarded with messages that encourage instant gratification, whether it's through advertising, social media, or the news. But the truth is, real financial success comes from thinking in terms of decades, not days. One of the most powerful tools in personal finance is compound interest, but it only works when you give it time. Imagine your financial life as a garden. You don't plant seeds today and expect a tree tomorrow, right? It takes years of nurturing before that seed grows into a tree that bears fruit. The same goes for investing. You can't expect to get rich overnight. It's about letting your money grow steadily over time through the power of compounding. Let's break down how compounding works. If you invest $1,000 today and it grows at a rate of 7% per year, by the end of the year you'll have $1,070. But in the second year, you're not just earning 7% on the original $1,000. You're also earning 7% on the $70 you earned in the first year. Over time, your money starts to grow exponentially as your returns generate even more returns. Think of compounding like a snowball rolling down a hill. As it rolls, it picks up more snow and gets bigger and bigger. The same is true for your investments. The longer they're allowed to grow, the bigger they get. This is why long-term thinking is so crucial to building wealth. The more time you give your money to grow, the more powerful the effect of compounding becomes. But here's the challenge. Our brains are wired for immediate rewards. We naturally gravitate toward short-term gains, even when they're smaller than what we could achieve by waiting. It's hard to stay patient and stick with a long-term strategy when we're constantly tempted by the promise of quick wins. This is where discipline and patience come into play. Housel explains that those who succeed financially are the ones who can resist the urge for immediate gratification and stay committed to their long-term goals. It's not about chasing short-term gains or trying to get rich quickly. It's about sticking with your plan, being patient, and letting your money work for you over time. The most successful investors are those who understand that wealth is built slowly and steadily, not through risky bets or overnight success. In fact, Housel points out that some of the wealthiest people in the world didn't achieve their fortunes by making huge, sudden gains. They did it by consistently saving, investing, and letting compound interest work its magic over the long term. This is the real secret to financial success: patience, discipline, and a long-term perspective. Another key concept in the psychology of money is understanding the roles of risk and luck in financial success. We often hear stories about people who made fortunes and assume they must have done everything right. But Housel reminds us that luck plays a much bigger role in finance than we might realize. Conversely, even the best plans can fail due to bad luck. Here's a great analogy. Think of your financial life as a game of poker. No matter how skilled you are, there's always an element of chance. You can't control the cards you're dealt, but you can control how you play them. Some poker players win big, not because they're the best, but because they got lucky with the right cards at the right time. On the flip side, even the best players sometimes lose because of bad luck. The same principle applies to investing and wealth building. Some people achieve financial success not because they made the best decisions, but because they got lucky. Maybe they invested in the right stock at the right time or started a business in a booming industry. But here's the thing. Just because luck played a role in their success doesn't mean they had a foolproof strategy. This is why it's important to acknowledge the role of luck in finance. Just because someone made a fortune doesn't mean they had all the answers. And just because you face setbacks doesn't mean you made the wrong choices. The key is to plan for risk by diversifying your investments and avoiding putting all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to bet everything on one stock, one business, or one financial move. By spreading your risk and diversifying your portfolio, you can protect yourself from the inevitable ups and downs of the market. Sometimes things won't go your way, and that's okay. The important thing is to have a strategy in place that accounts for the possibility of bad luck and minimizes the damage when it happens. And remember, just because someone succeeded doesn't mean they had a foolproof plan. It's essential to recognize that luck plays a role in everyone's financial journey. Understanding this helps you stay grounded, plan for uncertainty, and avoid overconfidence when things go well. It also helps you maintain your composure when things don't go according to plan. Housel also emphasizes the importance of humility in finance. No matter how much you know or how successful you've been in the past, it's essential to recognize that the future is unpredictable. Even the best investors and financial experts can't predict market movements with 100% accuracy. Staying humble means being prepared for the unexpected and acknowledging that you don't have all the answers. Think of humility as a safety net. When you're humble, you're more cautious, more deliberate in your decision-making, and less likely to take unnecessary risks. It's like packing an umbrella even when the weather forecast says it'll be sunny. You don't expect rain, but you're prepared just in case. In finance, humility helps you avoid overconfidence and keeps you grounded when making decisions. It's easy to get overconfident when things are going well. If your investments are performing well, it's tempting to think you've got it all figured out and start taking bigger risks. But Housel warns that this is a dangerous mindset. Overconfidence can lead to poor decision-making and cause you to take unnecessary risks. By staying humble and cautious, you're better prepared for the inevitable ups and downs that come with investing. In the world of finance, humility also means being willing to learn and adapt. The market is constantly changing, and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. Humble investors are the ones who stay curious, keep learning, and are open to adjusting their strategies when necessary. They don't assume they know it all, and they're willing to ask questions and seek advice. So how do you stay humble in finance? It starts by recognizing that no one can predict the future and that luck plays a role in everyone's financial journey. Staying humble helps you avoid the trap of thinking you're invincible and encourages you to stay cautious, flexible, and prepared for whatever comes your way. Now, let's talk about comparison. One of the most common traps in personal finance. It's so easy to look at what others have and feel like you're falling behind. Whether it's seeing your friends' new cars, your neighbor's bigger house, or someone's luxurious vacation on social media, it's tempting to feel like you need to keep up. But as Housel explains, comparing yourself to others can lead to bad financial decisions. Here's a useful analogy. Imagine you're running a race, and the only goal is to finish. But if you spend the entire race looking at the other runners, you might feel the pressure to speed up or change your pace. As a result, you could end up burning out before you reach the finish line. The key is to focus on your own path and run at your own pace. After all, your financial journey is unique, and your goals are different from everyone else's. Housel reminds us that everyone's financial situation is different. People have different incomes, expenses, goals, and challenges. Just because someone else seems to be doing well financially doesn't mean they have the same goals or challenges as you. Comparing yourself to others can lead you to make decisions that don't align with your financial goals, like spending more than you can afford or taking on unnecessary risks just to keep up. It's important to remember that financial success isn't about having more than your neighbor. It's about achieving your own goals. Whether your goal is to save for retirement, pay off debt, or invest in your future, the only race you need to run is your own. The moment you start comparing yourself to others, you lose sight of what really matters: your own financial well-being. Comparison can also lead to unnecessary stress and anxiety. It's easy to feel like you're not doing enough, or that you're falling behind when you're constantly measuring yourself against others. But Housel encourages us to avoid the trap of comparison and focus on what truly matters: building a financial life that works for you, not for anyone else. Finally, let's talk about one of the most important lessons in the psychology of money: the power of patience. Building wealth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The most successful investors understand that patience is key. It's about staying the course, even when the journey is long and the results aren't immediately visible. Think of patience like planting a garden. No matter how much you water your plants, they're only going to grow at their natural pace. You can't rush it. But if you consistently care for your garden, giving it water, sunlight, and time, it will flourish. The same goes for your finances. Building wealth takes time, and the key is to stay patient and keep nurturing your investments. Housel points out that our brains are wired for instant gratification. We want results now, and when we don't see immediate progress, it's easy to get discouraged. But real wealth building happens slowly, over years and decades. It's not about making big, flashy moves. It's about taking small, consistent steps every day, saving regularly, investing wisely, and sticking to your financial plan. Here's the truth. The secret to financial success isn't in making bold, risky decisions. It's in the small, steady habits that you repeat over time. Every dollar you save, every investment you make, and every financial decision you approach with patience and discipline adds up. And over time, these small actions compound and grow into significant results. Patience is especially important when it comes to investing. Markets fluctuate, and there will always be periods of volatility. But as Housel explains, those who can remain patient and stay the course during tough times are often rewarded in the long run. The key is to avoid panic, stick with your plan, and trust in the process of long-term wealth building. So, the next time you're tempted to make a hasty decision or change your financial strategy because you're not seeing immediate results, remember that patience is your best friend in the financial world. The most successful investors are those who understand that time and patience are the true drivers of wealth. So, what can we learn from the psychology of money? It's not just about knowing what to do with your money. It's about understanding how your behavior, mindset, and emotions influence your financial decisions. Focus on long-term thinking. Recognize the roles of risk and luck. Stay humble, avoid comparison, and most importantly, be patient. Housel's insights remind us that the psychology of money is just as important as the technical aspects of finance. By mastering the mental side of money, you can make better decisions, avoid common traps, and build a stronger financial future. Remember, your financial journey is unique. Run your own race, stay focused on your goals, and don't let external factors or emotions derail your path to success. Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical financial wisdom. See you next time.